agricultural waste, land and animal waste. These consist of crop residues such as seeds, molasses, bagasse, etc., which are usually left behind after the crop is harvested, and animal excreta such as waste produced by animals. Most of these wastes are biodegradable and can be turned into manure or used to produce energy, that is biogas. But if these wastes, especially animal excreta, enter the water bodies, then they can cause the spread of many waterborne diseases. So one should be very careful while handling animal waste. Fertilizers and pesticides. Fertilizers are chemical compounds, usually of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, that are added to the soil to increase crop production. Sometimes these fertilizers are washed away in surface runoff of water, reach the water bodies, and enter the food chain. This results in biomagnification. Pesticides and insecticides are also toxic chemicals that are used to eliminate insect pests that harm crop plants. Often these harmful chemicals enter water bodies and cause great harm to aquatic life. Pesticides, when sprayed on crops, can also be blown by the wind to other areas. They can also seep through the soil and contaminate groundwater. Biomedical waste. This consists of syringes, needles, and plastic bottles, contaminated and used bandages and swabs, laboratory waste like blood samples, urine samples, etc., generated in hospitals, clinics, and biotechnological research laboratories. Byproducts of surgical operations such as tissues, organs, limbs, tumors, etc. also are a part of this waste. Radioactive waste. These are harmful chemicals that are most dangerous as they remain harmful for thousands of years. These are generated from X-ray machines in hospitals and airports. Nuclear reactors and nuclear power stations also release radioactive substances into the environment. Classification of radioactive waste. Radioactive waste can be classified as low-level waste, intermediate-level waste, and high-level waste. Number 1. Low-level waste. These substances decay quickly as they are low in radioactivity. Intermediate-level waste. These are the containers used to carry the radioactive material, equipment, and radioactive sludge produced by the nuclear power plant. Now the last is high-level waste. Now, this is the most dangerous as it consists of discarded radioactive substances. These often take thousands of years to decay. Commercial waste. The waste derived from buildings, shops, stores, offices, markets, hotels, garages, etc. It consists of waste from construction or demolition of buildings that includes dirt, stones, concrete, bricks, plaster, wood, electrical wiring, etc. Hotel waste consists of dishes, paper, plastic glasses, used metal cans, soft drink bottles, etc. Waste from shops, offices, stores include paper, plastic, stationery articles, old furniture, cloth, etc. Municipal waste. Municipal waste includes the following. Number 1. Household discharge of excreta, which is fecal matter from toilets and kitchen washings. Number 2. Discharge from public toilets, hospitals, hotels, restaurants, offices, etc. All this waste is carried away through sewers and is called the sewage. This sewage is separated into number 1, the degradable part. Now that is that part which is capable of being broken down chemically into non-toxic parts. Now the other is non-degradable portion. Septic tanks are used to degrade the degradable part. The non-degradable part is dumped or buried at safe places. E-waste. E-waste is the abbreviation of electronic waste. It consists of discarded appliances using electricity, such as old computers, TVs, refrigerators, radios, cell, that is mobile phones, mobile batteries, fluorescent tubes, electronic toys, medical instruments, lead-acid batteries, etc. E-waste may contain some harmful substances as well as some valuable reusable material. Harmful substances of e-waste. These are lead, cadmium, mercury, etc. The valuable materials are gold, silver, copper, etc. Disposal of e-waste. The rag pickers and waste dealers, which are kabaris, obtain the discarded electronic gadgets. They remove the usable components or extract the secondary raw materials. But these recycling processes are harmful, causing health problems including cancers. Burning of printed wiring boards give out harmful fumes if inhaled, and certain residues which may unknowingly enter food chain via the crops cause body ailments. Recycling of e-waste. Most electronic devices contain a variety of materials, including metals, which can be recovered for future use, but it needs to be done very carefully under skilled supervision. Special e-bins should be kept at places dumping discarded e-waste material, and municipal agencies should make special arrangements for their final disposal. Research laboratories waste. As the country is progressing, more and more teaching institutes and research laboratories are coming up. Their waste material is of varied nature, broken or discarded glass apparatus, condemned machines, waste chemicals, animal and plant waste from biology laboratories, and from their culture rooms. All such waste needs to be properly disposed of, either in deeply dug out pits or burnt in special enclosures. Disposal of discarded radioactive material needs special care. Any carelessness in it can be a threat to human health. A well-known case was recently reported in Delhi when the radioactive cobalt-60 was found to have been passed on to waste dealers who had dumped it in the open in a well-inhabited colony. Some affected humans badly suffered from it. Properties of waste. Biodegradable. These pollutants are organic matters which decompose by the activity of microorganisms. Therefore, the pollution in such cases is negligible. However, when these substances occur in large quantities, such that the microorganisms are unable to decompose them fully, they pollute the environment. Non-biodegradable. Some substances like aluminium, iron, lead, mercury, salts, phenolic compounds, and pesticides like DDT, etc. do not decompose, or even if they do, they decompose very slowly. These substances, therefore, accumulate in the atmosphere and reach the body of living organism through the food chain and cause tremendous harm. Hazardous waste. Waste is a type of waste which can cause serious health problems in human beings and serious harm to environment when it is stored, transported, or disposed of. Hazardous waste include toxic or poisonous waste. Typical hazardous waste includes radioactive substances, poisonous chemicals, heavy metals that is arsenic, lead, mercury, etc. Biological waste, flammable substances, explosives, etc. Sources of hazardous waste are industries, nuclear power plants, hospitals, research laboratories, etc. When buried in the ground or left in open dumps, some hazardous waste can pollute groundwater and contaminate food crops. Non-toxic waste. These are the vegetable and fruit peels, paper, etc. that are usually thrown in dustbins. These wastes are generally biodegradable. They do not directly cause harm to the environment, but if the accumulation of this type of waste is large, decay will take longer and then it can cause problems. Differences between biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste can be broken down to simple, non-poisonous substances by the action of microorganisms in nature, whereas non-biodegradable waste cannot be broken down to simple, non-poisonous substances by the action of microorganisms in nature. Biodegradable waste can be recycled naturally and or by humans. Their products do not pollute the environment, while the non-biodegradable substances cannot be recycled naturally. Their products cause pollution. Biodegradable waste can produce useful products after biodegradation, while non-biodegradable waste remain unchanged chemically because they are not biodegradable. Biodegradable waste do not disturb the ecological balance in nature, whereas non-biodegradable waste disturb the ecological balance in nature. Examples of biodegradable waste are paper and cattle dung, while the example of non-biodegradable waste are DDT, synthetic fibers, and metals.